Hi, this is Lee Phillips and
This is
Ben Rucker.
Rucker.
And what we're going to do is, I'm an attorney and Ben's
Accountant.
accountant guy. He doesn't
Tax
have
guy.
any personality.
No.
But what we're going to do is talk to you today about how to organize your numbers so that the accountant can help you with your real estate investing and stuff. And people give the accountant stuff they don't need, and it's all messed up. So Ben's going to walk you through a little form that he's actually developed and that you can get. He'll tell you how to get it, and it'll help you organize your rental real estate stuff. Go ahead, Ben. What are we doing?
Well, you kind of mentioned how I created this form and why I created it, I guess. So a lot of times taxpayers, our clients, or whoever out there, they don't know exactly what they need to give their accountant. And so what they do is they give them a bunch of papers, and most accountants, Lee, you know how they work. They operate by the hour. So they take what they have, they input it, and whatever it spits out, if you're missing stuff, that's your problem, right? Your fault.
Basically.
So what this worksheet does is this is basically a simplified tax return of what the accountant is putting together. And if you were to fill this out and hand it to your accountant, you'd
know exactly what
you'd be 100% assured that you didn't get any expenses that were missed, right? So this is a form. It's a simplified form, what your accountant's filling out on your taxes. And I just want to walk you through it really quickly. Up here in section 1A, you have A, B, and C. And A, B, and C are if you have 3 properties, you'll put it in each property, right?
What happens if I have more than 3?
Well, if you have, let's say, 5 properties, then you'll have A, B, and C on this page, and you'll have A and B on the next page. So it goes A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C.
Okay.
So you have your properties here, and then I've highlighted in yellow the important fields for you to look at. And the type of property on this one, I have 111. So if you see below here where it says the type of property, 1 is for a single family residence, a vacation, short-term rental, land, royalties, stuff like that is what that does. And then on fair rental days, everyone always gets confused by that because let's say you purchase a property midway through the year and you start renting it out. It wouldn't be, you would still do 365. And the reason why you do that is the software will run ratios. So if you put half of 365, it would assume that the property was only rented half of it. So whatever numbers you give your accountant, it would reduce all that in half, right? And there's some rules. If you use it more than 14 days for personal, you get limited on your losses, is why there's a column for personal use days. So we're assuming that's 0 because.
So I'm always going to have 365.
You should 90% of the time plus you're going to have 365 and 0.
Okay.
And then now when you go below, you have A, B, and C. So those columns will match to the rows above. So row A goes down there in column A, right?
Right.
So all you're going to do.
Property A.
So what you want to try and do is whatever expenses you have, you want to try and group those into these lines here. The lines that we have, all these different, you got advertising, auto, and travel. Now there is another one that says other, and I usually just put HOA fees there and I try and group everything else out in there. So if you fill this out, you're not going to miss any deductions and you're going to be assured that it's done right. And I actually fill this worksheet out myself. I print this out and I hand fill it out, and it helps me to look at it to make sure I have all the right numbers and that everything makes sense. So let's talk about now how can they get this, Lee?
You can
Info at Legalese.
email info@legalese and ask for Ben's real estate tax worksheet.
And we will email that out to you.
So info @legalese LEGALEES.com.
If you're currently my client, we are filling these out for you, and we're filling out the addresses and we're uploading those to your portal. So don't email Lee's office for this if you're my client.
So if you're not the client, there's no charge. Just give us an email and we'll get this back out to you. It looks a lot like the actual tax form, but he's taken some stuff out of it that isn't relevant, and yet people get confused with it. So it's just an easier way to do it, and we can get it right out to you in the email. All right, that was easy. But people forget their expenses and they miss tax stuff that they could take advantage of.
Tax stuff, the biggest one that gets missed on here is property taxes.
Property taxes, yeah. So get the worksheet, info at legalees, legalees.com. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we're going to be doing a bunch of tax stuff with Ben over the next while. This is Lee Phillips and
Ben Rucker, the
catch you
accountant.
later. Yeah, well, the accountant.